Did I make a mistake buying this car solely off of Grok's recommendation? So this car is currently covered in pollen, but if you live anywhere in the South, I guess, currently we're just under a pollen attack. It's everywhere. Anyways, so I used Grok to basically find me the exact car I was looking for. And time will tell, was it a good decision or not? But I'm gonna take you through kind of what I did, how I did it, and I'll throw the Grok transcript attached so you can see what I did. But I thought it was really cool. I never thought about using AI like this before. So I am tired of trying to buy a new car and is it gonna be reliable, or an old car, it's got a proven reliability record, but is it what I need? So I was like, hey, let's ask Grok, see what it thinks. So what I did is I wanted a reliable, basically full-size SUV that I could get for under $20,000, had 150,000 miles left on its engine, transmission, whatever, and I needed it to fit a car seat in the back seat with a tall person in the front who is still comfortable, because we had an old Subaru Crosstrek. When you put a car seat in the back seat, the person in the front had to scoot all the way forward and their knees were in the dash. And my wife is a fairly tall person, so that was not gonna work for long distance trips. We might go through the transcript, but I put in everything that I wanted, and I mentioned, what about old Tahoes, old Suburbans, old Yukons, Yukon XLs, Ford Expeditions. I threw in the Honda Pilot because I had a friend who's like 6'5", 260, like big old boy. He said he had a Honda Pilot and he loved it. And I was like, what? Freaking Honda, that's disgusting. Why would you get a Honda? I was like, let's throw it in there anyways, you know, test it out, its reliability factor. Well, obviously Hondas are not in the same class as Tahoes and Suburbans, but in this particular case, it met all my needs. I didn't need to tow anymore. I wasn't looking for a truck frame, so a unibody, totally fine for what I needed. So I basically put all that into Grok and it spit out all the reliability facts and then what I could look for under 20,000. And again, we'll go through the transcript, but it basically said, if you want under 20,000, the Tahoes, you could look for 2012, 2013, avoid these certain year models, look up the Carfax, and then you're gonna wanna do the cylinder deactivation to bypass the cylinder deactivation, because everybody knows that's horrible. No one in the car industry likes it. It's just a bad idea. So that was something. Oh, four-wheel drive. I wanted a four-wheel drive. If I get anything, it's four-wheel drive, all-wheel drive. And so that was one thing it said, you know, you can get your four-wheel drive Tahoe, Suburban. It would stay away from the Expeditions. They don't have the reliability track record. When I asked about the Honda Pilot, it said its reliability factor was more than the Chevy Tahoe, and I could get a much newer model, still with all-wheel drive. And that's where it got very interesting to me. So it desperately needs a wash. And so we're gonna wash it. There's also a lot of other stuff I'm gonna do to it. It needs a transmission fluid flush. It needs an oil change. There's some like plastic that could be used to be restored on it, so we're gonna give that a go as well. On my last project, that you might have seen by now, I replaced this spigot out here, but I forgot. I never came back and bolted it into the wall, so it's a little wobbly. All right, it's not too bad. Roll the hose out, hook it up to the pressure washer. We'll go from there. Fill up my soapy suds cannon. I might do a pre-rinse first, just rinse the whole car down with just water and high pressure, because I think the tires look pretty dirty. So I think if I just clean the tires off, that'll help a lot with just the high pressure water, and cut the first layer of dirt off with just high pressure water. And then I'll follow up with the foam cannon and do all the rest. I also got some other stuff. There's all the plastic super duper faded on this. So I got the Meguiar's Ultimate Black Plastic Restorer. We're gonna give that a go. Just try to clean this car up, make it look nice for my wife. I don't actually know. She's actually with the baby right now. He's crying, poor thing. I'll go see if she needs any help. All right, there's enough air bubbles out. We're just gonna see if I can get this to work. So this is the transcript and we're just gonna go through it. I basically set it up and gave it a persona of a guy named Ryan, and then I kind of programmed it to say, hey, Ryan has all of this knowledge. You don't have to do that as much on AI tools anymore, but it does help. I told it I was looking for a full-size SUV that I can get on the used car market for around $20,000. I want 100,000 miles left of life on the vehicle before known issues arise, like engines, transmissions. I'm thinking an older Chevy Tahoe, Suburban, Ford Expeditions. I also said I've heard good things about the newer Honda Pilots, but I'm not sure on the Pilot's track record yet. I need a four-wheel drive on whatever vehicle I'll get. Based on these factors, what would your suggestion be? And it said, good morning, kind of said what its program is going to be, and it nailed down my requirements. And then it said the Chevy Tahoe. Oh, this is a lot. I'll actually upload this transcript, and then you can read it for yourself. But it said, basically look for a Chevy Suburban between 2007 and 2014. The reliability is pretty good. It would run until 250, 300,000 miles. The transmission holds up similarly to the engine if your fluids are changed. It's got a ton of cargo space, seats 8 to 9 people, horrible gas mileage. And then it said to, where did it say? It said you need to deactivate the cylinder deactivation, but it basically tells you how to do that. And it tells you what years to shoot for. Here it says 11 to 13. Shoot for this model. And 100,000 miles, you should be able to get one for $19,000 to $21,000. Then it says the Ford Expedition. It basically summarized that it's not going to be as reliable as the Tahoe, so I'm going to skip that. And then it said the Honda Pilot. 2016 to the 2022, which is the third gen. It said it's not an SUV, which is a duh. It's a unibody. It's a unibody, not a body on frame, and so technically it's mid-size, not full-size. But it says the specs were similar, seats 8, and the cargo space was very similar as well. Basically, it recommended very specifically a 2017 Honda Pilot with 90,000 miles, and I'd be able to get one for around $19,000 and $20,000. And it'll go way over 200,000 miles, and so that way I'll have more than 100,000 miles left of life on the vehicle, which is what I was looking for. Then it has this long summary, which basically was like, go for the Tahoe. The Suburban's a close second, and it said stay away from the Ford. Then I told it, hey, reliability is my main concern. My next priority is space in the back seat. I mentioned my old car, which was a Subaru Crosstrek, for space in the back seat, things like that. And then I said, does the Honda Pilot offer enough space for a car seat and then the front seat to be scooted all the way back? And it, again, kind of summarized what I was asking. And then it said, confirmed my concerns, kind of listing them as first concern is reliability, then back seat space. And then my options at this point are Tahoe, Suburban, Honda Pilot, Subaru Crosstrek, and Subaru Forester. I was just curious about those. So it runs through again, and this time it mentions the leg space. So back seat in a Tahoe was 36 to 38 inches. Suburban was slightly more at 39.5 inches. The Honda Pilot blew my mind because it had 38.4 inches of leg space, which was impressive. It basically said the Subaru Crosstrek and the Forester are tiny. That will not meet your requirements. Let's see, then it has a recommendation. Reliability, the Honda Pilot first, then the Tahoe, then the Subarus. Then it said the space ranking, the Suburban has the most, then the Tahoe and the Pilot. And obviously avoid the Crosstrek, it's tiny. The Suburban's obviously huge, but the Tahoe and the Pilot are pretty similar together. Then it goes into the goals for the max reliability and so on and so forth. This is getting kind of long, so I'm going to summarize this, but basically I told it I was leaning towards the Honda Pilot, and then as I kept going, I kept asking more and more questions about the Honda Pilot. I said, why specifically the 2017? And then I asked, why specifically the EXL model? And it basically said that the 2017 had a proven engine that had been used in previous generations, and that the EXL model had the proven transmission that was used in previous generations. So I should stick to that combo. You could also get that combo in the 2018 and 2019, but you might pay a little more because they're just a little newer, and I just didn't find any on the market. So in summary, you can just go back and forth asking it questions. And I also ended up asking it about the Chevy Traverse, and then I think I asked about a couple of different things, but yeah, it really dives in detail, and you can just go back and forth with it. So that's what I did, and that's how I wound up
wound up with the 2017 EXL Honda Pilot. So basically you can see it pulls out charts and it will compare everything for you, saying like it's got the same leg room. So far we've put about 3,000 to 4,000 miles on it, and we have loved every bit of it.